Shalom. This is a new Ben Israel at the Island Hebrew. Today's video is called Mamzers and Biblical Exceptions that Israelites are not aware of. Let me get right into it. I don't have a lot of sunlight left. When you go into the Blue Letter Bible, the Strong's, and you look up that word Mamzer, which also means bastard, you look it up. It's H4464. That's H4464. It means bastard, child of incense, illegitimate child, and mixed population. All right, let's go to Judges chapter 11, verses 3 to 11 and verse 29. Judges chapter 11, verses 3, 11, and verse 29. This is what it says. And I'm talking loud because there's a little mini waterfall behind me, and I don't know about the volume. So I'm going to be speaking loud. If it's loud, just turn it down on your video. Now, Jephthah, the Gileadite, was a mighty man of valor, and he was the son of a harlot. And Gilead begot Jephthah. Now, let me go quick and tell you a little bit when you do some research on a harlot. Because many people would say, oh, an Israelite woman is in the land of Gilead, and maybe she was just a prostitute, etc. When you look up harlot in a blue letter, it means woman in general, wife in general, or married female. Now I'm going to give you some relating verses to this harlot in Judges 11. The verses that correlate to the Blue Letter Strong's definition of it. They give you a relating verse to associate that harlot in Judges 11 with Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 11. And seeth among the captives a beautiful woman, and had a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to be thy wife. When you read the whole Deuteronomy chapter 21, it's talking about Israel going to war with the other nations, the heathen nations. So that's a relating verse that they put to associate that a harlot in Judges 11. Another one is in 1 Samuel chapter 28, verse 7. 1 Samuel chapter 28, verse 7. Then said Saul unto his servant, See, find a woman that hath a familiar spirit, that I may go to her. And his servant said unto him, Behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit in Endor. So Saul is looking for a like a psychic. And his servant said, yeah, we found one of them type of women. She's in Endor. Now remember, only heathen women are involved in astrology and is a medium, etc. Because those things are against the law. Those are things that are prohibited by Israelites to do. So you know that person that Saul was seeking, that woman in 1 Samuel 28, was a heathen woman. The next one I'm going to give you, and the last one, because I want to, for time's sake and the light's sake, I want to get through with this. Psalm 58:9. Psalm 58:9. Before your pots can fill, hold it. Before your pots can fill, okay. Before your pots can fill the thorn, he shall take them away as a whirlwind, both living and in his wrath. Now, when you read the whole Psalm 58, the entire psalm is talking about the wicked that are estranged from the womb. Who are they talking about in Psalm 58? The heathen nations. So this is another verse that's linked to the harlot in Judges 11 when you do research on it. So it's not an Israelite woman living in Gilead, because that's what I know a lot of you guys want to do. Say, oh, nope, it's really an Israelite woman. Nope. When you do the research, it's a heathen woman. All right, now let me get back. I had to stop there because I know some people would say, oh, that harlot is really a Hebrew Israelite woman. Okay, let's read it again. Judges 11, verse 3 to 11, verse 29. Now Jephthah, the Gileadite, was a mighty man of valor, and he was the son of a harlot, and Gilead begot Jephthah. Verse 2. And Gilead's wife bore him sons, and his wife's sons grew up, and they thrust out Jephthah, and said unto him, Thou shalt not inherit in our father's house, for thou art the son of a stranger, a strange woman. Then Jephthah fled from his brethren and dwelt in the land of Tob. I'm fighting the mosquitoes out here. It's very natural out here. So if you see me moving, you know why. Then Jephthah fled from his brethren and dwelt in the land of Tob, and there were gathered vain men to Jephthah and went out with him. And it came to pass in the process of time that the children of Ammon made war against Israel. And it was so that when the children of Ammon made war against Israel, the elders of Gilead went to fetch Jephthah out of the land of Tob. And they said unto Jephthah, Come and be our captain, though we may fight with the children of Ammon. And Jephthah said unto the elders of Gilead, Did not ye hate me and expel me out of my father's house? And why are ye come unto me? Ye are in distress. And the elders of Gilead said unto Jephthah, Therefore we turn again to thee now, that thou mayest go with us and fight against the children of Ammon and be our head. Now, they wouldn't have a non-Israelite be their head, especially not forced by, like the Romans would force a head upon Israel that wasn't their people. But when they wasn't ruled, being under the authority of the Romans and the Greeks and other captivities, they had their own heads. And be our head over all the inhabitants of Gilead. Verse 9. And Jephthah said unto the elders of Gilead, If ye bring me home again to fight against the children of Ammon, and the Most High delivereth them before me, shall I be your head? He's asking a question. Verse 10. And the elders of Gilead said unto Jephthah, The Most High be witness between us, if we do not so according to thy words. Then Jephthah went with the elders of Gilead, and the people made him head and captain over them. And Jephthah uttered all his words before the Most High in Mizpah. Verse 29. Then the Spirit of the Most High came upon Jephthah, and he passed over Gilead and Manasseh, and passed over Mizpah and Gilead. And from Mizpah of Gilead he passed over unto the children of Ammon. Now this is what you guys got to realize when you read Judges 11. The Spirit of the Most High is not going on heathen people. You guys got to put precept upon precept. We can't read the Bible like a Barnes & Noble's book, like the regular Christians and regular heathen Gentiles. And that's what you're doing. Heathens are unclean vessels. He will not inhabit those type of temples. The mixed breed whose father is an Israelite were accepted in certain situations. But how some of you Hebrews say, oh, every Mamzer, every mixed person is not. Remember, you guys forget Numbers 1:18, and I don't think a lot of you guys really think that is true. You are of the pedigree of your fathers. The mothers, they count, but not all the time, especially in this type of an exception. And it doesn't state it's an exception. The Most High gives mercy unto who he gives mercy. The Most High knows there's Numbers 1:18, but you Hebrew Israelites don't. And I'm not never saying go out and get a heathen woman. But there's some exceptions that the Most High overlooks. The Most High, because he doesn't change, when Israel went to war, they were able to take the women of those nations and make them wives. And I know the examples that everybody's going to use, Ezra's in Ezra. But those guys were doing what Solomon did and following after the gods of those women. See, the problem is, you people think that The sin of Solomon was having all those wives and concubines and people. Some of those wives and concubines are women of other nations. That wasn't the sin. The sin was he followed after their gods. For you guys that can receive it, receive it. Now, when you look, it says, we're going to talk about the Spirit of the Most High in Judges 11. When you read John 6:63, for those that can receive it, this is what it says in John 6:63. It is the Spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profiteth nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So the words in the Bible are the Spirit of the Most High. And when you read Romans 7:11, it says the law is spiritual, but I'm carnal. That's what Paul was saying. The word of the Most High is a spirit. And this should be a good example of that Jephthah, the Gileadite, was accepted, even though he was a Mamzer. Because when you read Psalm 147, verse 19 and 20, Psalm 147, verse 19 and 20, this is what it says. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and for their judgments they have not known him. Praise the Lord. So the other nations were not given the word. We know the word is the Spirit of the Most High. And the Spirit came onto Jephthah in Judges 11. For those that can receive it. And I'm not once saying go out, get a heathen. But our forefathers at times had heathen women. They did. The sin was following after the gods of those women and following after them. So that's what I'm saying. The best situation is Hebrew with Hebrew. Remember the 12 tribes, even though somebody's going to say, well, that was before Moses came down or whatever they're going to say, whatever you guys are going to say. Half of the 12 tribes are not with Israelite women. And the first two, Jacob's, Rachel and Leah, they weren't Israelites because Jacob was the first Israelite. Abraham had Keturah and other non-Israelite women. He was the first Hebrew. He wasn't even an Israelite. And there's many other examples that I don't have time to go into. Now go to 1 Kings 12. 1 Kings 12, we're going to read from 1 to 6. 1 Kings 12. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel were come to Shechem to make him king, that they sent and called him. And Jeroboam and all the congregation of Israel came out and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, Thy father made our yoke grievous now, therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father and his heavy yoke which he put upon us lighter, and we will serve thee. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old men that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, and said, How do ye advise that I may answer this people? Rehoboam is a mixed guy. And his father is Solomon. Now go to 1 Kings. And before we go to 1 Kings 14, remember, Israel would not allow a king that was not considered true Israel to reign over them when they wasn't in captivity. So now go to 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 21. 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 21, this is what it says. And Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, reigned in Judah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which the Most High did choose out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name. And his mother's name was Naamah, an Ammonite, an Ammonitess. She was an Ammonitess, a woman from a heathen woman. And some of you guys are going to say, oh no, she was an Israelite woman living in Ammon. No, when you do the research, when you look up Naamah's story, this is what you're going to find about Rehoboam's mother. When you go also into the Zondervan Combat Bible Dictionary, it says, Naamah, a daughter of Lamech and Zillah, wife of Solomon and mother of Rehoboam. Lamech a son of Methuselah, a descendant of Cain. He had two wives, Adam and Zillah. Lamech's son by Adam and Tubal and Jubal founded the nomadic life and the musical arts. Lamech's son by Zillah, Tubal Cain, invented metal crafts and instruments of war. Lamech's also had a daughter, Naamah by Zillah. So that's showing you Rehoboam's mother, Naamah, is an Ammonitess. She was a heathen woman. See, there's another example. So for you guys, and there's many other examples, for time's sake and the like's sake, I can't go into it. There are Mamzers. There's Moses' son. Moses married a Midianite woman. It doesn't matter whether she's black skinned or a relative of one of Abraham's 8 sons, the Midianites. Still not of the chosen lineage. He married her, whether she's a black type woman, a Negro style type woman. She's still not part of Israel. And Noah's son is named as a Levite. Gershom, he's named as a Levite. So hopefully this has been edifying for you. Do more research on your own. And of course, and I will repeat, the best situation, of course, is Hebrew with Hebrew. You don't have an argument here at the Island Hebrew with me. But there's some exceptions in the Bible. The Most High changes not, because I read it to you. So to say, hey, no Mamzers is allowed, no. And then some of them also, it says that, they can enter the congregation after the 10th congregation, get into the congregation of Israel. But Numbers 1:18 has to stand, and a lot of you guys don't believe. You have to be of the pedigree of your father. Father has to be a Negro, which are the only Hebrew Israelites. This is a New Ben Israel at the Island Hebrew. Until next time, Shalom.